Now these clubs all perform extremely differently. However, for most of you, you're only going to have the chance to have one of these clubs in the bag, because most people are going to have a driver, a 3-wood, and then probably start at 4-iron. So we've got this one gap in between the 3-wood and 4-iron. What do we use to fill that gap with? Do we go with another iron, like a 2-iron? Do we go for a hybrid? Do we go with another fairway wood, maybe a 7-wood? Like, what do we fill that gap with? Well, today I'm going to be taking you through all of the differences between these clubs, which players they might be suited best to, which scenarios are going to be best used in, and all of the performance and ball flight differences between them to help you make up your mind. Oh my God. That has gone so high. I mean, I'm going to take that result all day long, but that is ridiculous. That has gone 163 feet in the air. It's a little bit high. So first up, we're talking 7-wood, and it's designed to do exactly that, get up in the air. And that is exactly what it did there. I mean, 164 feet, bit extreme, but I'm not someone who really struggles with height. I hit the ball extremely high anyway, but for someone who really struggles to get the ball up in the air and wants that more launch and that more spin to get that height, increase the carry, increase land angle for more control, absolutely perfect for that kind of player. Today we're using the TSR2, 21 degrees. I got the setting on B1, which is just standard loft and a little bit flat. And we're going to be using the same shaft in the 7-wood and the hybrid, which is just one of their stock shafts. It's Tennessee Blue, 65 grams stiff, so nothing too special. So let's hit you a couple with this and then talk a little bit more about the ball flight and the performance. It's about 235 left in. Second shot on this par 5. Yeah, it looks lovely at TSR2. Clean, compact, classic, as you'd expect from Titleist, to be fair. Felt really good. It's gone about 19 miles in there again, hasn't it? Woo! That should stop pretty quick. Yep. Again, it's going to be great for that, but wow. That is high, yeah, great strike, almost perfect, really good delivery. Turned it over a fraction maybe, but pretty neutral. But wow, what a ball flight that is. So the players best suited for a 7-wood are going to be kind of low swing speed players, especially people who really do need that extra bit of launch and that extra bit of spin to get that ball up in the air. From a delivery characteristic perspective, like how you deliver it, if you're a bit sort of picky, maybe a bit from the inside, a bit shallow, you're not someone who takes big divots, it's going to be a good delivery type for a 7-wood. Nice and kind of shallow and yeah, just coming into the ball nicely. If you're someone who hits down and gets a bit steep, you know, who wants to take off loft, sort of if you're a really good iron player and you take a big divot, 7-wood, you're maybe not going to suit your eye particularly well. You're maybe going to miss some high strikes for really kind of getting forward on it and trying to lean that shaft forward. Not ideal for that delivery type. But yeah, shallow, need height, need spin, low swing speed, all those kind of characteristics, absolutely perfect for a 7-wood. So jumping into the 4 hybrid, again we've got TSR2, 21 degrees, exactly the same as the 7-wood. B1 setting, again the same, exactly the same shaft. Now where these two do differ massively is obviously in the length, which is an important part to note about this test and something we will be touching on briefly. But first, let's see how this performs against the 7-wood. That felt really good. Really good strike. Ball flight looks completely different straight away. Brilliant shot, take that every day of the week. And yeah, 14.8 launch, so again, really good strike, very central, really good delivery, very similar to the delivery that we saw with the 7-wood. So we can see 130 feet in the air and 48 descent. We can still see that that's a very high ball flight. Again, I hit it quite high. However, 7-wood was between 150 and 165 feet. So it's still a good 25, 30 feet lower than the 7-wood, which is pretty astronomical to be fair. Still high, but a big difference. And as the name suggests, that utility club, like it sits right in between that middle ground between your fairway wood and your iron, so it can really be utilised by quite a few different swing types really and characteristics. Like if you are a bit shallow from the inside, it's okay. If you can get a little bit steeper on it, you know, it's not as deep as a fairway would, so you do kind of feel like the face almost looks a little bit more iron-like. And again, there's different options within this realm, but you can get them so they look quite iron-like, so you feel like you can get a little bit steeper on it. You can get away with that, not too steep, but really a bit shallow, a little bit steep, kind of the extra forgiveness that you get out of a wood head compared to an iron. You're going to get more launch and more spin than an iron, but not as much as the fairway would. Just sits really nicely in that middle ground. So if you're someone that actually wants a little bit more forgiveness, a little bit more launch, a little bit more spin, but doesn't like the look of a fairway wood, maybe it's a bit big, again, it just sits right in that middle ground. So now we're going to jump into 2-iron, which I'm kind of throwing in as a little bit of fun, and just again to show you how extremely different these ball flights can be, is my 2-iron, which is a T200 with a Tour AD DI85 X shaft, and it is a bit heavier and a bit stiffer than the kind of shaft that we have been playing in the other options. And again, it's a lot stronger in loft as well, but just to show you the different options that you would have in that sector of the bag and how different the ball flights are going to be. Obviously, if you had something a bit lighter and a bit softer in this, it wouldn't massively change the performance numbers from it, as you've seen from a lot of my other videos. We know that shafts don't really change launch and spin much. So let's see how this does. Firstly, actually comment below, how much lower is this going to fly than the 7-wood? Let me know what you think. That felt really good, very similar to the others. A little bit of that draw. It's just going to sail the green. Bye bye. Again, it's going to be really interesting to just talk you through this data in a minute, because I'm pretty sure that the ball speeds are all very similar, but all the ball flights and the distances, especially with the 2-iron, I mean, that is just, that's gone. So here we go, we'll talk you through this data, but the first and most obvious thing that stands out in the performance of these 3 clubs, which is the big point to get across, look at the height difference up here. We've got the yellow, we've got the 7-wood, and the red, we've got the hybrid, and then the blue, we've got the 2-iron. So the 7-wood was 155 feet in the air. Again, these are only one shot, but I purposely got a very, very similar strike, delivery, ball flight. Again, you can see they're all slight little draws. So it's a really, really fair example and test of how these clubs perform. So the 7-wood up at 155 feet in the air, hybrid at just over 130, and then the 2-iron down sub 100 at 95. So the height difference there is absolutely astronomical. This isn't really that much of a fair test because a 2-iron wouldn't be like a distance comparison with a 4 hybrid or with a 7-wood. But again, like I said at the beginning of the video, you've maybe got that one spot in the bag possibly to fill, and these are 3 of the options that could fill that gap. So throw them in there for your information. So huge difference in height, and obviously the land angle is going to be massively different as well. 7-wood coming in at 51, that's coming down with snow on it, that is going to stop quick. Hybrid at 48, so that's still a really steep land angle, going to stop very quick. And the 2-iron sub 40 at about 38.5, I think it was, so perfect for maximising that run out. It's going to come in nice and shallow. So you can see ball speed a little bit down on the 4 hybrid, which I would probably expect, because it's just a shorter shaft against the 7-wood. So you're going to swing it a bit slower, therefore you're going to see less ball speed. And 2-iron, they're just super efficient because they're just so low in loft, so you do maximise ball speed out of these. So hybrid down a little bit on ball speed, but I mean the 7-wood and the 2-iron exactly the same ball speed, and the carry distance was about 20 yards. 20 yards difference in carry, and obviously the run out would be massively different. So probably not good for hitting greens with 2-iron, but if you were to take both of those off the tee, you're going to get next to no rollout with the 7-wood, and you're going to get a lot with the 2-iron. Again, things to bear in mind. So quick run through of the numbers, we can see the 7-wood launching up there at 17, 4 hybrid down at around 15, just under, and then the 2-iron down at 11, so massive difference there as we come down. Again, spin, we see the most at the 7-wood, obviously, a little bit less in the 4 hybrid as we'd expect, and then right way down with the 2-iron, sub 3,000, so low launch, low spin, monster it really is. And again, with the distances, the 4 hybrid and 7-wood, pretty much exactly the same in this example, although I would say to most people, I would generally expect 7-wood to go a little bit further than a 4 hybrid, to be fair, and then yeah, 2-iron just absolutely monster in it. So that's kind of the performance differences, and that is what I'd expect to see in pretty much any fitting, really, that difference and how they perform. So let's kind of sum it all up for you. Right, so let's sum this up and recap it all for you. There's a lot to go through there. So that area of the bag, obviously the 2-iron, Great tee club, right? Low launch, low spin monster for that player who really has got a lot of speed, hits it super high. Yeah, great off the tee to bring that flight down and really get it running out there. However, I would say that if you're not a really good ball striker, and I might usher you a little bit away from a 2-iron because it really can be a super punishing club at times. It's a romantic club. We all love the idea of a 2-iron until you get out on a cold winter's morning and you tow it and you feel like your hand's about to drop off. It's not the best feeling in the world and you just lose a lot of yards, whereas actually like a hybrid really gives you that kind of middle ground. Okay, it doesn't look like an iron, but you can hit it off the fairway, you can hit it off the tee nicely, you can into greens, out of rough. Like it really does tick a lot of boxes, to be honest, and you get the forgiveness out of it that you would out of a fairway wood, with it being that little bit more of that wood design, hollow head. You get that gear effect. So if you hit it a bit heely, a bit toey, you still retain a decent amount of yardage and it gears a bit more back to target, whereas with a 2-iron, you just don't get any of that forgiveness really whatsoever. So it's that great middle ground. And like I said, someone who struggles with contact, especially heavy shots, again, really good option, a hybrid. Maybe even go a bit short in a hybrid shaft. And then the 7-wood, perfect for that low swing speed player who struggles to get it up in the air, really needs that extra little bit of launch, extra little bit of spin, extra little bit of control coming into greens. Anything, it just helps. It's a helpful club. It really, really is for that height. So there we go. I hope that sums it up really well. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it helped you out in some way. Please do like and subscribe if it has. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Please let me know what you want to see next. Always open to ideas. As always, stay tuned and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.